Welcome to Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11.
Well, good evening and welcome into week number 2 of Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. I am Caleb Hart. He is Chad Fitzpatrick, flying in the passenger seat here. And a big thank you to All-Ply Roofing for sponsoring Home Track Heroes all year long. Chad, it's Monroe Grocery Outlet night here on the track. We have got a really wide variety of cars and tracks and trucks that we're even going to see here over the course of the night.
Yeah, we're going to use pretty much almost every racetrack except for the 5.8s. We got the big buses and the baby legends and 2 V8 muscle car figure 8 classes.
So you get ready. It'll be racetrack and race car and race truck and race bus. Potpourri coming your way. There is bound to be lots happening. And we'll kick things off after such a really good week number 1 and a really nice opening here. Week number 2 is going to show off our legends, the All-Ply Roofing legends. They're coming up first. We've got Pro 4 trucks. We've got 2 different divisions of figure 8s. So if you like variety in your show, tonight's going to be for you.
Most definitely, and it was a beautiful night. It's almost 80 degrees out there.
My goodness.
In April.
Well, all right. Get out the interesting fruity drinks with the umbrellas in them. Kick back, relax, enjoy. Let us take you on a ride as Home Track Heroes ready to go. First division, it's the season debut of the All-Ply Roofing Legends. This is a huge car count. They're scheduled for 30 times around the 3/8 mile. And the front row is Jeremiah Johnson in the 13. He's out of Linwood, the LB Motorsports car. Davis Jacobson next to him, the 15D out of Wilkinson. The truck shop sponsors him.
The 27 Dakota Grachella out of Snohomish, sponsored by Apex Home Services, and the 40 Samantha Schwartz out of Mercer Island, sponsored by Mountain Equipment.
Row number 3, Piper Alton from Port Angeles, mom, dad, and aunt sponsor the 42A. Kaylee Decker next to Piper out of Duval, sponsored by Lewis and Maine.
Danny Arnold is in the 11 car out of Puyallup, sponsored by Northern Environmental, and the 30B Braden Wager out of Camino Island, sponsored by Dirt Cheap Sewer.
Interesting dichotomy of drivers in row 5. Jaden Luce, the youngster out of Issaquah, sponsored by mom and dad in the 19 car, and the veteran Shane Sawin, car number 4 from Snohomish, sponsored by Mr. Dizzy Motorsports.
The 86 is Joe Decker out of Duval, sponsored by Lewis and Maine, and the 11M Ricky McNeil out of Bellevue, sponsored by Optimus Construction.
Row behind them, Garrett Grichala, car number 30 is sponsored by Weather Right Roofing. Next to Garrett, Cole Alton, the 09 out of Port Angeles, mom and dad, aunt and uncle.
We got Chris Thompson in the 10 car out of Snohomish, sponsored by Weather Right Roofing, Inc., and the 76, Josh Villock out of Edmonds. And hey, he's looking for some sponsors.
I love it. Put your business here. That'll work. Row behind them, Bella Luce, the 55 out of Issaquah, looking for sponsors herself. And the 20 of Damian Harris out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Flowmaster Gutters.
The 99 is Travis Blivens out of Stanwood, sponsored by Pair Painting Company LLC, and the 86X Jeff Mueller out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Thermotech.
Row behind them is the 53 of Ian Humphreys out of Renton, sponsored by Masonator Racing. Next to Humphreys, making his Evergreen Speedway debut, a move up from karting. It's the 24D of Matt Dugas. Matt out of Uncle Tio, sponsored by the Tacoma Comedy Club.
And run outer field, 29G of Brian Grant out of Maltby, sponsored by Unknown Tattoo in the 9. Adriana Camp out of Monroe, sponsored by the Legal Umbrella.
Now, counting is not my strong suit, but I see 24 out there.
I think you're right. That's a good field.
That's a big field. That's what happens when you grow up in Eastern Washington. They don't do math. As we come out of the 4th corner, we are green and underway with our first All-Ply Roofing Legends main event.
Clean and clear so far. It looks like the 13, that is Jeremiah Johnson, former super late model driver, grabs the lead as they go into turn number 3. Davis Jacobson follows in closely. And we got a good battle for that 3rd spot, the 27 of Dakota Grachella and the 42 Piper Alton, but we got a caution already.
One is around, and it is the 99 of Travis Bliven. Bliven, the first guy to make the loop around, and he'll make another one.
He did it again.
He showed off. I liked it.
He didn't like it the first time, so he's just going to do it again.
All right, our Seattle 11 crew has got the idea, and Travis just overcooked that thing, got in too hot, and the car wouldn't hold. Let's take a look at the Humphreys viewpoint as he will go sneaking by on the bottom. And from Travis's viewpoint, the Brandy Hood Promotions in-car camera.
And, it looked like maybe just the back end went around on him. I've driven one of these before, and it is really easy to have that happen to you.
It is. How long ago was it that you drove?
About 4 years ago.
Okay, and even since then, they have gotten faster. A new motor package was introduced a couple of years ago, so all of that twitchy is now enhanced by extra horsepower that you experienced in these cars. It's Yeah, they're a handful.
All on the same small tire, too.
Yeah, little itty bitty baby tire. Although they did give them a new shock package to help try to balance that out and give them a little more grip on the racetrack. But again, you've got this tiny wheelbase,
Yep.
low weight, and lots of get up and go. It is a recipe for the guys who can handle it and really drive it to be super successful. The Chad Sinners and Kyle Langs of the world that have been out there and been so good in this division, Gabe Sessler, etc. And it makes it so where the guys who are learning, it can be a tough learn.
Very much so. As we were 3 wide as they go into turn number 3, we had 2 different lead changes in that one straightaway there. So very good battle up front for the lead there. But 13 of Jeremiah Johnson will grab it for the moment as Jaden Luce will grab the lead again. 3 lead changes in 1 lap.
That was a beautiful move by Luce. Just saw the hole open up. Right place, right time for him as he'll open it up by a couple of car lengths as they make their way through the middle of the corner. Luce, now your leader, and Johnson strung up on the high groove. Pushing his way backwards is Travis Levin once again. Out, well, the car matches the grass. It can be a little hard to see, right?
Yeah, a little camouflage. Just doesn't like turn 3. Has getting a little stuck there. You know, doesn't help when we had about 2 inches of rain over the week.
Ooh. So from the in-car camera, once again, you can see Blevins getting into the back end of the white car in front of him. And front end goes around and into the grass. So rough start for Blevins.
Yes.
Rough for the rest of the drivers who are trying to build a little momentum and a little bit of rhythm.
So we'll watch and see what happens. Eventually we'll get a long green flag run, but the one person that has moved really fast is Braden Wager. Started 10th, I believe he's into 3rd already.
For a very young driver still, I mean, he is still in his early teens. Wager has shown very well here at Evergreen Speedway in our Legends division. We'll wait and see, is this the breakout year for him? As we'll go in car with him, front and back from the inside of row number 2 as we're back to action.
Yeah, green flag. As you can see, before they're even getting to the green flag, they're already bumping and grinding into each other. With those bumpers, it's really easy to do that. But Jaden Luce will grab the lead once again off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway with Braden Wager right there behind him.
As always, I love the in-car view here when you get to watch the handwork of the drivers. And Wager, he's got a lot of input into that steering wheel. You can see it. It is not super smooth, but the car is fast, and that's really all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, watching his hand, especially through 3 and 4, car looks like it's a little bit on the loose side, but you know what they say, loose is fast. So it definitely working out for him because he was right there with Jaden Luce down the front straightaway. Maybe in the next lap or 2, he might be able to keep that momentum up and maybe make the pass.
Do you think in some ways that might be a product of the race car? Again, talking about how short these wheelbases are and how much power they have.
Most definitely. You know, the one time I drove, it was a pretty tight car, but it could also just snap on you. As we go down the front straightaway into turn number 1, looking to the inside was Braden. Just can't quite make it happen. Jaden has a little bit more drive off, but he is really good going into turn number 3, as is the 30 Braden Wager.
Boy, as fast as Wager is, this looks like a matter of when, not if. He is all over him. Can he find the right lane to get by? There's a car length between them getting into 1 and 2. Luce is leaving the low side coming off of 2 open, but Wager has not been able to get in there. In fact, backing off of it as they'll get into turn 3 and 4, and another caution flag 7 laps into this.
Adriana Camp, this is her debut, so pretty cool to see, as looks like we're riding along with Ian Humphreys there.
Ian, put your visor down.
Yes.
Dude.
You're going to get rocks in your eyes.
This is not, that's going to be a bad time.
When I ran street stocks, I used to race with my visor up.
Okay.
And I ran into the back of somebody and rocks went flying into my windshield and into my eyes. Never again.
Ian comes from the micro sprint world too, on dirt too. He should be used to having the visor
he knows better.
down. Yeah, eyes get really watery really quick if you leave the visor open on that one. So, all right, we will get back to her. We're 7 in, 23 to go. Luce and Wager starting on the same row this time. As sitting in 3rd, Davis Jacobson been holding his own back there. Then Piper Alton having a pretty good run to the 42A up in front.
And then looks like we got the Decker row in the 3rd row. We'll watch and see what happens there. So I'm very interested to see what Braden Wager can do on the outside here as they come off of turn number 4, get to that goal line, and we are green once again. We are off and running.
Into the first corner, Wager is going to be up to the numbers on the door on the outside. From the bottom, Luce hanging on to the lead, but there's Wager pushing his luck around the middle of this racetrack and not losing a heck of a lot. So Braden Wager hanging tough in the outside groove. Jaden Luce trying to keep it on the bottom, and Davis Jacobson right there just in case, as the 99 of Blevins hanging out at the bottom of turn number 4.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that turn 3 is just not liking him tonight. So we'll watch and see what happens here. Gets in the back of Decker, and he'll go around. Decker almost went around as well, so good save by him.
Got into the rumble strip. Let's take a look from Belarus's car on the inside. You can see you get down too low, and that's kind of the purpose of that. You don't want people running below the line.
Yeah.
That's why that's put there. It'll grab you, it'll snap you around, and thankfully for Blivens, I don't think any damage in the car. He'll have another chance to restart
Yeah,
here.
luckily with those, the Legends are a little higher. If I ran over that with the late model, that does some damage. Street stocks, I think they go over it on purpose because it doesn't do much, but the lower the car, the more damage it will do. These Legends are low, but I don't think they're low enough to where they'll do a lot of damage.
Remind me, because we had a huge topic of conversation on last week's show about the new tire in the late model. We'll pick your brain on that as we get a little bit further into the race night here tonight. We're green once again. Hey, we got a lap in. 22 to go. As down at the bottom, Alton looking for room. They're 3 wide coming off for the 3rd spot.
Still 3 wide as Decker way out wide. Here comes Ricky McNeil down to the inside. That's battle for 3rd, 4th. They haven't even looked like they've taken the green flag yet, but Jaden Luce will regain the lead with 21 laps to go this time by. That outside groove just doesn't seem to be working that well for Braden Wager. I think he's starting to figure out the only way to get around him will have to be on the inside. And it's a new it's not a new track, I should say, but it's a green track. It's their first race out here. There's no rubber up there.
Right, and with only one previous racing event here on the year, at least on the circle track, as far as the circle track is concerned. So lots of time for it to develop as the year goes on. Down to the bottom goes Wager. He's got the right front to the left rear. He might have the preferred line getting into 3, although Luce got through just enough, and will pedal from the high side to have it maybe for one more lap, because there goes Wager for the lead. Bottom of turn number 1, and he's got it.
He's got 19 laps to go this time, or 18 as they go this time by. That was a good pass. He was just watching, kind of almost stalking his prey, just to see where Jaden Luce was weak at. And, you know, Jaden, they're very equally matched cars because he has not left him.
Take a look at that line that Wager was running, and the 99 car.
We'll watch and see what happens here.
Well, camera guys have got to see a lot of them, and that time the back end just snapped on him. It's like there's something bound up back there.
There was something going on ahead of him as well, so I think he slowed down to miss, and with the anticipation of another car spinning. Watch and see right there. They both get together, and that's why he ended up spinning out, trying to avoid something. Unfortunately,
jams on the brakes and pulls him to the left and in and around for Travis. So might be a short race night for the Blivens team. That's too bad. He's been a competitor out here in multiple different divisions and fields a good race car tonight, just not his night.
Yeah, and you know what? You have those nights. I've had them. I've had probably more of those nights than good nights.
More than we'd like to admit or remember about here on Home Track Heroes. So 12 down, 18 to go. Wager and Luce have been the 2 up front. Piper Alton made the move for 3rd, and Rick McNeil has been on the move in the 11 as well. He's up to 4th here as we come to the restart.
We'll watch and see. I'm very interested to see now because Wager is on the inside. This is his first restart being on the inside in a while. So watch and see here. Looking good through 3 and 4. We got the green flag out, and that was a perfect restart for both of them.
Piper! Commentator's curse, I got her. Oh, and everybody else in and behind it also got a piece of it, as it's Damian Harris's 20, Bliven out there in the grass, and apparently every other white race car in the field gets around thereabouts.
So it looks like Piper got, that was a hard hit.
Yeah.
So it looked like Piper got in the back of Wager, unfortunately went around, and unfortunately, that was a really hard hit.
Yeah, that's not going to feel good for Damian, who picked up his first heat race win early on in the evening in action. So another look at Alton going around and how that all went down from Wager. Here's from Harris on the inside. Little touch gets him skidding, and boom. Yeah, there's the thump. Ouch. I think that was Dugas, the 24 that got him.
I believe so.
Yeah, that was running solid and had absolutely nowhere to go. Boy. Well, we're going to take another look at it from Bella Luce's point of view, and we're going to come back with the conclusion of the All-Ply Roofing Legends main event as you are tuned in here to Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Well, we are about midway through the All-Ply Roofing Legends A main event here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Let's jump back to the action. I'm Caleb Hart. He is Chad Fitzpatrick, and when last we left you. Braden Wager was up in front. Jaden Luce going to sit in position number 2, and there was chaos in behind him as that restart was not kind to some of our field.
Yeah, I was going to say Braden Wager and Jaden Luce are probably in the safest place right now. It's been pretty rough.
As it should be. Davis Jacobson has been hanging out in third on and off. Rest of the field trying to move their way forward. We'll see how it ends up. Wager and Luce back to the green flag with 18 to go.
And Wager to the point once again, as we'll see. We got the 15 of Jacobson, or no, is that Jacobson? Yeah, that is.
It is, yeah.
Off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway, trying to get underneath Luce, but Luce with a really good run through 3 and 4, and he will regain second.
We have a new contender making his way into the top 5. Danny Arnold's 11 is up there, and he's bringing Shane Salwin with him, so top 5 looking a little bit different, and gotta say a big thank you as well to Angel of the Winds Casino Resort. Angel of the Winds Casino Resort now has sports betting. Think you can pick a winner? Prove it at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort, the only home for sports betting. North of I-5 in Seattle. It's exit 210 off the I-5 corridor. It's over in Arlington.
Fun place to go to.
A place where right now you can try to throw some money down on Braden Wager and say, I think he's looking good for his first win. It's a nice little pad that he's opened up. He's also changed his line just a hair, getting a little bit wider off the corner and opening his entry up into the turns.
I'm noticing that. I'm wondering if maybe the car is getting a little loose on him. When you want to open up the entry, that will make it a little bit easier to drive, because if you try to keep it low when it's loose, the back end will just try to go around. So that might be what he's doing. And a lot of times, especially at Evergreen Speedway, since it's still a relatively new pavement compared to other tracks in the Northwest, it tends to be tight. So you really want to try to get your car to be set up loose here, and that might be what he has done so far tonight.
Well, a guy who's got a bunch of laps around here, that's Shane Salwin, and Salwin always with one of the better looking cars in the field, has advanced his way up into 4th. He'll pass Davis Jacobson for the spot. Nice run for the veteran.
Yeah, definitely. He has a lot of laps here, but more so on the figure 8 track. A long time super figure 8 and extreme contact figure 8 driver. So, but he has done also super late models here, done that at South Sound Speedway as well. But we have a good battle shaping up for 5th, as we got, it looks like, another car going around as the yellow flag flies.
We do not have a replay of this, we understand. It's the second time for Adriana Camp, who gets in and around. And again, opening night in these cars, we told you, they're tough to drive. Your rookies are going to have a bit of a harder time than others.
Oh, most definitely. There is a rule. If you cause 3 cautions, you do get black flagged. So hopefully she doesn't do that again, because then we'll be... she'll get the black flag, but we've got 7 laps to go, so we'll watch and see what happens here.
You look at it, too, considering all the heat that we had over the course of the day today, and now sun's gone down. That racetrack's cooling off, and that throws another curveball out.
Oh, 100%, and it's that time of the year where it's 65, 70 degrees during the day, and I bet it's probably barely 50 degrees now. As they come off of turn number 4, and Wager once again will grab the lead as Shane Son throws it in there, as he will momentarily grab 3rd as they come off at turn number 2.
It's him versus Danny Arnold in the 11 on the inside. Jaden Luce on the outside trying to keep up and doing a pretty good job of making Wager work for it. Wager sweating a little bit in the front spot. Luce is right there. Salwin takes 3rd. He will hold that down and is sneaking around, looking at the back bumper of Luce, seeing if there's opportunity to pick his way up to 2nd, maybe.
Yeah, Luce is trying everything possible to get around him. They only have 5 laps to go this time by. And yeah, time's a ticking. They're running out of time. But I'm noticing Wager's car tends to get better as the green, as they go longer in a green flag run. So yeah, we'll watch and see with only 5 laps to go. We'll see if he can keep that 2nd place position or move up 1 spot. And right now, Wager has a little bit of traffic in front of him. That'll be no hindrance to them at all.
Changed his line that time too, and I don't know if he was anticipating the slower car staying on the track or what, but he definitely didn't bring the car all the way out to the wall in the front straightaway, so he narrowed his entrance to the corner, and it looks like it paid off for him because he has got some nice pad. Before we've got cars out in the grass, Johnson ends up out there, as does Belarus 55?
Yep, looks like it. I'm doing a little yard thatching in turn number 3 there.
All right, well, we did get a look at what happened between the 2 of them, so to the replay machine, and, oh yeah, 2 cars, 1 spot, one of them got airborne.
Yeah, that could have been much worse, but yeah, we're going to rack them and stack them again. We'll watch and see here, and oh, wow. That looks like the bumper got underneath that tire.
Yeah, and in that scenario, yeah, I mean, most of these drivers have spotters and radio communication. I gotta wonder if spotter on the 13 wasn't calling car low at that point in time. That's strange.
Not sure. Yeah, and definitely when the back end of the car went up, you know, he's gone up and over.
Yeah. There's a car there.
Yeah, he cartwheeled one of these a few years ago, so he knows what that's like. And so we'll watch and see again how Braden Wager will maneuver this, because his car is obviously fast. He's our leader, but it struggles the first couple laps after a green flag run.
Yeah, it's not dominant fast. He gets there, but he is definitely at risk here on the restart, depending on what Luce can do. And boy, they're even at the apex of the corner at the exit. Braden got a way better drive and has a little bit of breathing room, at least for now.
Yeah, that was a really good jump by Wager. I thought at one point, and I think Jaden did too, that he might have had him. That was a good move by him. You got to try it. You got to try the outside. You got to go where they're not going to go. And it's looking pretty good for Braden Wager right now, because that was a really good drive off of 2.
Well, he's got 3/8 of a mile to go as of this white flag and the white stripe right in the middle of the racetrack. One more time around for Wager, who's looking for the opening night win for the Legends. Luce pretty secure in second. For third, Solon has taken it away from Arnold, but Arnold was rallying him hard around the outside. We'll take a look and see how they come to her. Checkered flag in the air, give the W to Braden Wager, give second to Luce, give third to Solon. Let's go talk to the winning 3 on the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
Shane, the secret to your race seemed to be the restarts. You're real good in those. Walk us through that.
Oh, just trying to keep the RPMs right and stay on these guys' bumpers. I didn't have a better car than these two who won it, so congratulations to those two, but I had a hell of a battle all night long trying to get through traffic. I kind of got shuffled to the back, but I just want to say thanks to my daughter for spotting for me. Normally the roles are reversed there, and my wife Andrea and everybody who helps me out here. Otherwise, thank you to all for coming out and bearing through that main that has too many cautions.
Driver the number 4, that's Shane Solon. All right, Jaden, great race there. You were holding the inside line for those first 10 laps, battling neck and neck with Braden. What more do you think you needed with him?
My car was just too loose, middle of the corner, especially in 3 and 4. I just want to thank all these fans coming out. This is one of the biggest crowds I've ever seen at Evergreen, so thank you all for coming out and letting this happen. And I want to thank my mom, my dad, and Ricky Arnold for helping me out.
One of the drivers to watch this season, driver the number 19, Jaden Luce. Domination in that race, I think, is a good way to put it. Maybe it's a little too early to ask, but I feel it necessary anyways. You think this is your year?
You know, it's a little hard to tell on opening night, but it's the best I've ever felt in that car. It's never had drive out of the corners like that, so I sure hope so.
You're bringing the heat this year in that 30B. Who's helping you do it?
Francisco and Colin King, Dirt Cheap Sewers, Ava Cannon Real Estate, Big Kahuna Fishing, Nexus Fab, Joe's Racing Products, Pacific Street Rods, Purcell, Central Welding Supply, Countryman Signs, DeYoung Inc., Brandy Hood Promotions, Matthew Lance, my mom, my dad.
Driver of the 30B, here's your winner of the Legend Opener. Give it up for Braden Wager.
Congratulations, Braden, and a win. Hey, gotta say a big thank you to All Play Roofing. They are our season-long sponsor here on Home Track Heroes as we get ready for the Northwest Pro 4 trucks to the racetrack. We're finding ourselves $1 every time we call them a car, so you can play along at home or not, however you want to do it. Mason Warren out of Everett, Bonus Racing for the 2 truck, and next to him at the 7 truck, Matt Green out of Arlington looking for sponsors.
The 49 at Calvin Miller out of Arlington, sponsored by Buck Tom's Trucking of Arlington, and the 24 McKenna Cox out of Arlington, sponsored by Northwest Broiler.
Third row is Rod Helmuth out of Woodinville, the Bonus Family Racing 30 truck. Cody Cooey next to him in the 46 truck out of Snohomish, sponsored by Truck Parts Northwest.
Aaron Green drives the number 6 truck out of Snohomish, and he is looking for some sponsors. And the 9 Greg Vaughn out of Arlington, sponsored by the Alley Bar and Grill.
Row number 5 is Michael Tips in the 85 truck. The 12 truck, Jeremy Howell out of Arlington, sponsored by TD Alskog.
And our final row, the 93 Mackenzie Angelitas. She's looking for some sponsors. And the 16 Evan Tips is looking for some sponsors as well. 12
trucks going around here on the 3/8 mile, and McKenna Cox, the defending champion of the Truck Series this year, if I remember right.
I believe so, yes.
So welcome in. We should have an Evergreen Speedway truck champion, if I'm right. So, no, not going to. Okay, so it'll be a series champion once again, although they are on the schedule 6 times this year, so we'll get a lot of hot truck action.
Most definitely a bigger increase from last year. I think they only made 2 or 3 appearances, so great to double that. And a really good field, a dozen trucks. And yeah, as you say, $1 if we mention car length.
That's right.
I'm putting up $10.
What?
Yeah.
All right.
So I got to really work on it here.
Okay. All right. If you want to pop that much out there.
Well, by the time we're done, I might need to buy might be enough to buy 1 Pro Late model tire. So.
I have gone through enough nights not calling them cars and calling them trucks that I should be okay, but we're about to find out, as that's Matt Green of the 7 truck with the good launch. The green is out.
As that was not a very good start for Mason Moore, and we'll see there's something's going sour on that truck as they're 3 wide going into turn number 3 as he loses 5 spots, 6 spots now. But out front, it is the 7 of Aaron Green.
All right.
Or Matt Green.
Yep, Matt Green in the 7 green truck. McKenna Cox down on the bottom in the 24 truck. And she'll take the lead out of turn number 2. We know how potent the Cox family is inside it. Oh, no. The 7 truck, it's a smoking.
Is that smoke or was that water? Oh, no, that's smoke, I believe. Well, it's gone now. Nope, it's still there.
There we are. I mean, water is usually less gray when you get up and through it, right? It's more, it looks like steam. It's just that whiter looking smoke, for lack of a better term. That's like all on lift on getting into the corner.
Unfortunately, he did go through a big puddle down the backstretch, and now the backstretch is soaked. When we go by this next time, you'll see it, and they're going to drive right through it again. As, yep, you see McKenna go right through it. Calvin Miller currently running in that 2nd position, chasing down last year's champion, McKenna Cox.
And that was 1-2 for most of the year in the truck battle, if I remember right. Miller, who's proven to be a jack of all trades. That guy is good in everything he races. Really closing in hard now on Cox and looking for the lead as they roll those trucks into turn number 3.
Yeah, definitely faster as he'll look to the inside of McKenna as they go down the front straightaway. McKenna's car seems to have quite a bit of McKenna's truck. That's $10 right there.
Ouch.
Seems to have a really bad push as they get up on, I believe that is Evan Tips, as they go into turn number 3, and Calvin Miller will grab the lead.
So Miller to the lead, the 49 truck. Cox is 2nd, maybe making an adjustment. She was pushing hard. Now she's tucked in down low. See if she was out running what she thought could be more of a qualifying line, and the real race line is lower on the racetrack for what her truck likes right now. There's for 3rd, Matt Green in the 7 truck, Cody Cooey in the gorgeous looking 46 truck, pushing down low hard, and he is bringing Green part 2. That is Aaron Green in the 6 truck in behind him.
Yeah, great battle. Well, that looks like, I believe that's for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th as they will go once again by the 16 of Evan Tips, as it looks like the 6 of Matt Green. No, that is Aaron Green looking to the inside, but can't quite make it happen. But look at Matt Green way out wide, almost running like as if they're in the rain, way up high there.
Yeah.
As the 30 of Rod Helmuth sitting tough in 5th. Well, I mean, Rod's driven a whole bunch of cars. He started off in the bomber division here in the late 80s. We've seen him in mini stocks. I've seen him in a super late model.
Talk about a guy who's got a lot of laps around Evergreen Speedway. Holy cow.
Most definitely. As, yeah, that battle for 3rd is definitely shaping up between 4 of the trucks, as the 30 of Rod Helmuth will make that pass maybe for 4th, and he does.
You look at it, Helmuth has had so much success just in 4-cylinder racing application. It's been really something for him. A couple of years he didn't spend a whole lot of time around Evergreen Speedway. Actually took to the dirt and ran Dirt Hornets 4-cylinder stuff, and was really, really good in that too. So nice to see Helmuth back, and up in 4th, pushing around Cody Cooey for 3rd here in the Pro 4 trucks with 19 laps to go. Yeah,
this will definitely a good battle shaping up for that final podium spot. We always want to get on the podium, but you always want to get on there on opening night too. As, yeah, Cody just has a whole bunch of mirrorful of those 2 trucks behind him.
The 7 of Green is picking the pace back up. Matt Green in the 7 truck has a gap underneath Helmuth, but Helmuth to the outside, making it work. comes off of that interesting little transition between the 3/8s and the 5/8s, where you'll see those drivers kind of watch the car hippity hop every once in a while.
Yeah, Cody is definitely keeping the outside lane open, so he's telling those two, the only way you're going to get by me is moving to the outside.
I said cars. I should have said cars and trucks. I'm only finding myself $1.
Okay, that's fine.
Fair?
That's fair.
Fair. All right. Helmuth outside, Green down low, and Green looking to take over 4th place as we've got to get ready to head into a commercial break. You're not going to want to miss a minute, so don't change that dial. Back with more Pro 4 Truck main events here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. We're back with the dual box here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11, the Northwest Pro 4 Truck main event. Up in front, Calvin Miller and McKenna Cox have just been absolutely cruising. But back here for 3rd, it's a multi-truck battle. Right now, Cody Cooey's got it, but the list of drivers up and threatening him for that position has been hardy at best.
Oh, definitely. I swear the 7 of Matt Green has been in the second groove the whole race, even when there was no one below him. Seems to be working out for him, but Aaron Green trying to look to the outside, and I swear Cody Cooey has been running down the middle of the straightaway, and they still can't get by him on the outside. He's setting them up for it.
Yeah, he's given them the lane, clearly. It's just nobody's been able to take advantage of it, and Cooey's been extremely good down on the bottom of the racetrack. Home Track Heroes today brought to you by All Ply Roofing. Northwest Pro 4 Truck main event has just 13 laps to go. We're watching split screen action for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th even between this 4-truck line of drivers. The 2 greens are in there. That's Helmuth in the red, white, and blue 30 truck. And Cody Cooey in the black, white, and orange 46 truck continues to hang on to it.
And they've had this battle all race long, and it's definitely heating up as Rod Helmuth has caught up to Cooey. And I believe this is about the 3rd or 4th time he's caught up. They've been switching back and forth 3 or 4 times. And I think Rod has figured out that inside groove, like way down on the bottom, seems to be working out for him as well, just however the truck is set up. Because I'm noticing whenever he goes up high, he loses a lot of grip, but we're going to go up and watch and see where Calvin Miller is. He is all by himself. He does his own zip code.
Yeah, just chill out there. That'll be good for you, Calvin. Relax, enjoy. Hopefully he doesn't get mired in too much slower traffic. That's about the only thing or mechanical failure that could get him at this point in time.
He's about 3/4 of a lap ahead of everyone else.
And on top of that, McKenna Cox is also well clear in her truck. Big thank you to Tire Pros, the official tire dealer of Evergreen Speedway. Tire Pros, your one-stop retailer, where honesty is the best policy and they have a hassle-free guarantee. Tire Pros has all the national brands and offers a nationwide warranty on your tires. Go to tirepros.com. Check everything out that they got.
So still this same battle, all 22 laps that we've had so far. And Helmuth looks to the inside, just can't quite make it work. Now, if you're someone like Calvin Miller, where you are 3/4 of a lap ahead of everyone, this is when you start backing it down. Because you want to save your tires. They have a tire rule just like everyone else. So this is when you start saving your equipment because, like you said, and I don't want to be announcer's curse at all, but unless something happens to him, he's got it. Unless, that was...
Well, and yeah, as we're watching Helmuth try to use the middle, and he really slung the truck around that groove. You can see the back end washing out almost sprint car style as he came through the corner. But you're right. The only things that can happen right now for Miller, closing in on other trucks, are bad.
Yeah.
Give yourself some space. And they have in cockpit communication. They're telling him how much space he's got and how hard he does or does not need to push it.
So that battle, again, shaping up for that final podium spot. Helmuth looked to the outside again. That seemed to work way better than the lap before. We'll watch and see what happens through 1 and 2 as he has a good run on Cooey this time. Once again, he drives right alongside Cooey as they go into turn number 3. They're side by side, 2x2, truck to truck.
Truck to truck. Nice. McKenna Cox, a quick glimpse of her in the second position as we're back to it. And Rod's got 3rd now over Cooey. They looked door panel to door panel through the corner. Took him about 25 laps, but finally figured it out. Rod Helmuth going to the middle to try to take 3rd away from Cooey. As we go back up to take a look at your leader, who is watching a lot of good battles in front of him.
Yeah, this is definitely when you start to slow down. Calvin Miller's just going to watch and see what happens. He has a really good spot to see who's going to be on the podium with him. As, yeah, they're still side by side. They're coming to the white. Well, they're not. Calvin's coming to the white flag. So at this point right now, he knows, and he's just going to slow it down and watch the two have a great battle for that final podium spot.
So Calvin Miller, your leader, and we get to watch third and fourth battle right in front of them, all through one camera. Kind of cool. Miller is going to win this thing walking the dog. Long, big race win for the multi-talented Calvin Miller. McKenna Cox is coming in second eventually. And yet she's still got half a track on everybody else. Nice job using the lap truck as a pick. And Cody Cooey, Helmuth really hanging it out, ends up taking third. Nice effort by Rod. What a race. That was cool. All right, let's go down. We've got your top three to talk to on the Angel Winds Casino Resort podium.
Battle between you and the 30 machine Rod Helmuth. What's going through your mind there as you're looking in your rearview mirror? Here comes the leader in the closing laps.
Oh, I don't drive with mirrors, so there ain't no mirrors.
Fair enough. Neck and neck battle, it's still going to be close, still going to be fun. How do you keep your composure in a long, drawn-out battle like that?
Oh, well, I got to thank my dad for helping me out because he basically just lets know where everyone is around me through my ears because with no mirrors, you can't really see around and do.
And who would you like to thank for your performance tonight?
Gearhart Trucking, Machias Materials, Amsoil by Dale, Complete Landscape, Carson Trucking, JJ Cooey Trucking, and my Uncle Robbie for helping us out all week getting these things together.
Driver the number 46, Cody Cooey, third place tonight. McKenna, you got a big crowd out here tonight at Evergreen Speedway. How are you feeling?
Exhausted, but pretty good.
You put on a great show out there. Where do you think you need to improve heading into these next few races?
I don't know, probably just going into the corners a little faster, I don't know, and not being so tired, but I don't know.
Who'd you like to thank for your performance tonight?
Northwest Boiler, Joe's Racing, my mom and dad, and my brother for helping with the tires while I was gone on vacation.
Driver the number 24, McKenna Cox, second place tonight. In one word, dominance. It really feels like you just understand how Evergreen Speedway works. How did you get this far when it comes to this track?
Well, we used to have a street stock at one time, and we spent a lot of time out here on track rentals, and I spent a lot of laps and a lot of tires. And I think that helped out in the long run, getting all those laps in at the track and being patient and knowing what move to make where.
You certainly perform well and with great experience. Who would you like to thank for that?
Buck Tom's Trucking, Brandy Hood Promotions, my mom and dad, my grandma and grandpa for coming to watch, Steve and Dawson Cox, they help a lot, and everybody that came out to support me today.
Driver the number 49, your race winner tonight, Calvin Miller!
Well, congratulations, Calvin Miller, starting the year strong in the Northwest Pro 4 trucks. We move forward. Let's take a look at the figure 8 course. It is time for the Monroe Grocery Outlet Super Stock Figure 8s. We had 16 of them. We'll have 15 going around for 40 times here on the figure 8 course. Tasha Dunn, the 369 out of Solton, the All-Ply Roofing LLC car, and Robert Weldon in the 63 out of Arlington, also sponsored by All-Ply Roofing LLC.
The 8 is Jacob Funk, sponsored by Pacific Northwest Traffic Control and Supply. The 195, Devin with the E.N. Jenkins out of Maltby, sponsored by I'd Hit That Motorsports.
Third row is the 78 of Jeff Anderson from Snohomish, family and friends supporting that car. Skylar Cruz is the 20 out of Covington, sponsored by Big Truck Service of Fife.
The 45 is Chevy Vincent out of Darrington, sponsored by Pro HNS, and the 58, Chuck Wittes out of Everett, sponsored by Peebo Sports Bar.
It is row number 5. Steve Peters out of Monroe, driving the Bill Fleischacker 36, sponsored by Papa's Bar. And Sheridan Vincent, the 43 out of Darrington, sponsored by Siskin Power Equipment.
The 88 is Guy Litz out of Seattle, sponsored by Protocol Plumbing. And the 11, Jim Mackey out of Gold Bar, sponsored by Be Happy Carpet Cleaning.
Mackenzie Dietz in the 67 BECU, the sponsor for her out of Monroe, and the one-armed bandit Quentin Morrison out of Aberdeen, sponsored by Mary's Towing in car number 5, with the 65 of Tom Sherman out of Monroe in the Zeke's drive-in car. So 15 for 40 here, and there's more cars coming for this class too.
We're missing about 5 or 6 cars.
Yep.
So this is, I mean, when everyone shows up, this be main territory.
Right. Jeff Talbert was here, but didn't end up making the A-Main event. We know Doug Delfell's getting his stuff together. We'll see him in a bit. Rick Yargis is not here tonight, but that car is getting pretty close. Chris Southard is on the way. Like, yeah, it's going to get all kinds of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be good as we got Robert Big Bird Weldon in his old Camaro. Great to see him back out, bringing back the old school look, kind of what this class used to look like as he goes way out wide. Going to open up for Tasha Dunn to grab the lead. Here comes 195 of Devin Jenkins. That's a former street stock car.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
well, that's the thing, right? Like back in the day, your super stock figure 8s, your street stocks, etc., you'd see all kinds of mid-70s, early 80s Camaros. Now they're a collector car.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And you don't see them turned into race cars as much.
Yeah.
Which makes me sad because I love them, but I get it.
Yeah, it's very hard to wreck a car that's worth $10,000 to $15,000.
Exactly. So you've got Jenkins up and in the front, hanging on for now. He's got a lot of guys coming after him, including Anderson in the 78.
We got hit in the intersection already.
Oh, boy. That was something. And that was Chuck Wittes in the 58 who got a nasty portion of it. Let's get a look at how that went down. We got a lot of angles on this.
Watch and see what happens here. Oh, poor Chuck. He hasn't raced in 2 years at a very young age of 71 years young, and he's back at it again. That was one hard hit, and, you know, wow. Didn't even put a scratch in that Camaro.
Wow, the Camaro's tough.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Built tough.
I think that's the other brand's motto.
It is, yeah.
But at the same time,
yep.
Wow, lots of angles on it. Wittes, I mean, if Wittes was mad, I could understand. And at the same time, wow, we haven't seen a good square one like that. I mean, that was almost in the numbers.
Oh, 100%. So,
goodness gracious.
Unfortunately for Chuck, his night will end early, and he'll get it all fixed. He's going to have to probably put a new rear clip on that, some new shocks, maybe a new rear end. So
just
maybe a new car.
Start at the beginning. Okay, what isn't broke?
Yeah.
All right, quad box time coming here for the super stock figure 8s. You get the whole field on the upper left. Chevy Vincent, the Brandy Hood Promotions in-car camera. Jim Mackey in the 11. Quentin Morrison in the 5. Wow. Okay, this will be a something.
Definitely interesting, the rookie on the front, as we'll go green once again, but look at all that track dry. Somebody oiled her down, as it looked like it snowed on the racetrack. We got cars going all over the place, as Jenkins still with the lead. Here comes Sheridan Vincent and Chevy Vincent.
Holy cow, this, yeah, it's going to look like something I'm more familiar with. Visibility is going to be a problem here in a minute. As here comes Borison, who has gone from nearly dead last and into the lead in 3 laps.
That was pretty impressive right there. We're back to full inverting in the figure 8 division, so that if you can get through in 30 laps, let alone 3, that is quite awesome to do something like that.
Really muscled up there at the end too. Like he was having no mercy. He just kind of shoved that car in the way through. Nobody got spun out. It was just your typical physical figure 8 racing.
100%. That's why they built those big cow catchers on the figure 8 cars.
Yes. That's why Rep and Welding and Rail is as popular a sponsor amongst this division as they are, right?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, Jake does a lot of sponsorship work and obviously helping field the car for his wife, Mackenzie Dietz in the 67, who you see in your picture at the moment hanging out. As we have got one stop, Devin Jenkins, the 195, with 5 laps down and 35 to go, just hanging out for a second. Why not?
So it looks like we're still green so far. Maybe not. Nope, we still are. He's out on. Whoa.
No.
Oh, that might bring out a caution because now as Jenkins gets going, so that happens, but they all keep on going.
That was the 43 of Sheridan Vincent who ends up spun out. Now, Borison, your race leader, up on the back of Tom Sherman's 65 car. I don't know that there's a safe spot on this racetrack at the moment.
No, they have 80 laps, not 80 laps, they have 80 times to get through the intersection as they put, looks like that is the 20 of Skylar Cruz down a lap. This is his second or third race. He has raced before. He had an old Monte Carlo that he ran about 6 or 7 years ago as Sherman
Tom.
goes around.
Oh, and he is pointing at your leader.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah, quitting driving right at him. And, you know, I've been in that position in a race car before where you're facing the wrong way and they're coming right at you.
Oh, yeah.
It's nerve-wracking.
Whoa, that's almost...
We're going to cause the caution. Yeah, we'll throw that yellow. That's a good choice.
Yeah, that's not a good place to be. Even on circle track, that's just, yeah, that's scary.
No, that was bad.
Yeah, when you're there on a figure-8 track, you got 3 different cars or many different directions going at you.
All bad.
Yes.
All bad, thanks.
So we call this, I believe, the Delaware-style restart?
Delaware style, that's right. Why? Because it's the only interesting thing about Delaware. Up in front, Quentin Borison is your leader. Jim Mackey, Sheridan Vincent in the row behind them. And then Steve Peters and Mackenzie Dietz stacked up in the row back there. So, let's see how she plays out. And we still have 32 more laps to go. That's 64 more intersection crosses.
Yeah, we got a lot to go through as the 11 of Mackey throws it into the first turn there. And no contact made, but it is clean and clear for Boris. And momentarily, these guys spread out pretty fast. And when you're a race fan, you want to see that because traffic in the intersection tends to heat up very quickly when that happens.
Absolutely. Intersection action makes figure-8 racing. As Mackey 2, Dietz 3, and Dietz has got a, I don't know, tighter line around the inside of the south pole or the right-hand corners right now. She's doing a much better job of hugging that car down low, and I think that's going to afford opportunity for her to pass here.
Yeah, that definitely will work out as, oh, Sherman goes around again.
Careful.
Had to miss that to not get hit in the intersection, but once again, he's facing the traffic the wrong way.
Oh, this is a bad spot.
So we'll watch and see what happens. And, oh, that was close.
Wow.
Oh, and we got contact, it looked like. We're still not green yet, as I believe Chevy Vincent got into the one in the 65, because now the 65 looks like it may have a cut-down tire.
We both saw Peters cut it really close on the inside to go, Steve, no. So let's take another look. We'll see the whole thing go down. So there's Borison. Now be watching here in the North Pole, and there's the back end of Sherman flying around. We've got to take a timeout. We're going to come back. We'll have more of the Super Stock Figure-8 A main event here at Home Track Heroes. Well, the action continues here on Home Track Heroes. Thanks for hanging out with us here on a Sunday night on Seattle 11. He's Chad Fitzpatrick. I'm Caleb Hart. And we have got Super Stock Figure 8s on the track. The Monroe Grocery Outlet Super Stock Figure 8s. Quentin Borison is in your lead. Had a couple of laps tick away in the interim. 19 to go. So we get back to action. And a big thank you to All-Ply Roofing for bringing you our program here. Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11 all year long. The field is a little smaller, Chad. We had some attrition as well as some laps tick away.
It has been a little destructive for their opening night. So we've already had the intersection of doom happen a couple times.
Yep.
So, and we've had a couple head-on collisions, so that's definitely
just look at the sheer amount of speedy drive both on the track and that has been kicked into positions off the track. It's like Christmas in April out there in terms of what's been down. That'll give you an idea of what the drivers have been going through. Quentin Borison leads. Battle for second has been good between Jim Mackey in the 11 and Mackenzie Dietz in the 67. Steve Peters lingering in the 4th spot, looking to be a factor before this is over.
Yeah, the top 4 cars have probably 12 to 15 championships between Steve Peters and Quentin Borison. A lot of championships up front there and a lot of main event wins. As Mackey hanging tough in that 2nd position, Mackenzie Dietz she has really good corner speed. I just don't know if she has the drive off, but that was a really good corner for her that time as Mackey was really, really loose coming out of the corner.
You look at it, Mackey is pushing. I mean, he's plowing like a dump truck through the middle of the turn, but once he gets to corner exit, that power gets down to the track really fast, and the car just kind of zips away.
Yeah, and seems to be closing the doors. We're going to have some intersection traffic in the next lap or so. And we'll watch and see what that does to our leaders. As out front, Quinn Borison's on a Saturday night drive. Not a safe one.
No, definitely not. So here's what we're talking about. You look in corner entry through the middle, Mackey is just struggling, but right there, right about that uke tire, that car just comes alive and shoots forward. It's a really interesting way to race a super stock figure eight. It's been good enough for him to hold on to second the whole time.
Yeah, he's squaring off the corner, so since the car's so tight, he goes in way late, and I don't know if it's going to work this time because Mackenzie's underneath, and yeah, it didn't. But he's going in way late and turning later to square off the corner to use all that horsepower. But that time it didn't work because now Mackenzie moves up into second.
Yeah, almost using the throttle to power his way through the rest of the corner and get the car turned at some point in time.
When you have a V8, you can do that.
Yes, indeed. Borison escaping some hot intersection action. Dietz has got second. Mackey losing ground. Peters trying to find his way by and using the chrome horn to do so. Again, figure eight racing naturally just a little more physical, and what you give, you get prepared to get. That's why they have the big old rub rails on there. As Borison continuing to miss the action in front of and behind him. And we have got a problem. Caution flag's out in the air. And I think that's the 195 Jenkins who stopped right there in the intersection. They'll save him.
Definitely in a scary spot right there. Again, you don't want to be there.
No.
We've seen a lot of cars get hit in the intersection by just stopping.
Yeah, of not of their, I'm just here, I'm chilling, I'm fine, and then somebody else says, I don't want you there.
Yeah.
Dang. So Borison Dietz, 1 and 2. Mackey is now going to get the outside of the South Pole, inside of the North Pole of the Delaware-style restart. And it's been pretty consistent in that row behind him, Peters and Vincent in the 43. So we'll see how it goes.
So we're down 13 laps to go. We cut 10. And back up front once again, Quentin Borison will regain that lead. Mackenzie Dietz with a good jump as well. We'll watch and see if Steve Peters and Jim Mackey have raced together for many, many years. So we'll watch and see. It's just been a long time since they have raced.
Right.
So.
Steve's been a little more hit and miss over the last couple of years, although he's found a nice, consistent ride in the Fleischacker 36, so we'll see a decent amount of him in that car. And right now, he had to back out of the battle for Mackey. He went side by side with Vincent for a set of turns.
And I'm noticing when he goes into the corner, that right front brake caliper is very, very hot. Maybe not, just maybe one spot might have a caliper dragging, because I've noticed when he goes into the corner, it's only one spot on that tire or on that wheel. Yep, it almost looked like it caught on fire there.
Wow. So interesting scenario going on the Peters car. We will monitor it. And while we do that, we'll thank Monroe Grocery Outlet, your locally owned neighborhood grocery store. They offer name brand products, fresh produce, organics, wine, and more at 40 to 70% less than traditional grocery stores. Shop them first and save. Monroe Grocery Outlet, the proud sponsor of our Superstock Figure 8 class.
So I'm noticing, yeah, that it's getting pretty hot in those brake calipers up front on the 36 of Steve Peters. And I know that he knows that because probably when he goes to the floor, or when he goes to brake, it goes right to the floor.
Yeah, starting to feel squishy at best.
Yeah, and that when you're driving a car, that obviously is not a good feeling to have.
No.
So we'll watch and we'll see what happens there. Maybe at one point he might lose the brakes altogether, so hopefully that doesn't happen. But yeah, he's still chasing down the 11 of Jim Mackey, and that is for that final podium spot.
So in the late model, when you lose brakes, you pull off, right? Like
You should, yes.
You should. You don't all. You should. Not everybody does, but you should. In the figure eight, is there a driver's method to mitigate that? Other than just slam into the back of the guy in front of you every time?
I'm thinking that's probably it.
Okay.
Because, you know, in a late model, you're obviously going way faster.
Yep.
But there's no intersection in a late model.
Sure.
So, you know, the more times in a figure eight, you're going to have to slam on the brakes way harder than you do in a late model car. So you obviously want them both to work in both types of racing.
Yeah. I can see a scenario where in the late model, and granted it's not going to be the fast way around, but you could get to a place where you can cool the brakes, right? A lot of coasting for a little while and just try to get some extra air. Like if you're trapped in behind somebody, get some extra airflow to the car and such like that. You're never going to get it to the point where you've got good brakes again, but you could have functional brakes maybe at some point in time.
Yeah, that's how you can make that work.
Here, there's so many bugaboos. Try not to run into the guy in front of you. Try not to get clobbered in the intersection.
Just like that.
Yeah, exactly. To me, it'd be hard. I would think you lose brakes. It's probably the same scenario, pull off.
Yeah, that's just the smartest thing. When you have no brakes, just pull off. It's not worth it.
Right. Steve's doing a pretty good job of managing right now, as we're 4 to go, and he's still on the outside looking in with Mackey in front of him. Heck of a job by Jim Mackey, too. His race car not handling the best, but he's sure getting around still.
Yeah, definitely a good job driving by both of them. And since they both slowed down, the brakes aren't heating up as much on the 36 of Steve Peters as well. I've noticed the last 2 laps, they really haven't gotten that hot. And even that time, just barely a little bit of a spark. So the brakes, obviously, they will come back. But right now, they're still hot. And, we got a little bit of lap traffic.
Yep, Mackey had to check up. Jacob Funk up in front of him, and that's going to cost him a podium spot right now. With the white flag out, 1 to go. Peters coming up on the back of Anderson, who's in 7th. And Quentin Borison's going to win this by quite a bit. I say quite a bit, oh no. But he might have to make a whole nother lap as Mackey touches the back and gets Peters checkered out. Dietz made a huge run on Borison there at the very end. She was right on his back. So there's the checkered, and right now it's Vincent getting to the inside on Mackey, and then something busting in the back. Let's get a look at the replay. Interesting sequence of events for 3rd. Yeah, Mackey into the corner panel of Peters. Around he goes. Here's from Mackey's perspective.
Looks like just enough to get in the back. Yep, and send him around, and the black flag did go out for Jim Mackey as well.
Okay, so Mackey is black flag. You can see that.
What a finish.
Yeah, Vincent's going to get the spot, and then something on the right rear of Vincent sends up a shower of sparks.
Oh, yeah, bumper.
Wow. All right, well, to the podiums we go. Fun shenanigans on that one, but let's talk to your top 3.
All right, Sheridan, good run tonight. Heat race win up on the podium. Opening night seemed to end well for you.
Yeah, being that I wasn't even going to come out tonight, I was just going to bring my kid out, but my wife and kids helped me put my car together and brought it out, and it was a good night.
Yeah, kind of tough, kind of choppy race. Had to work your way through traffic, but ultimately end up on the podium. Who do you want to thank for helping you do that?
Got to start with my wife and my family, everybody that comes out and supports us. Siskin Power Equipment, NEM's Dog Spa is probably our #1 supporter this year. I don't know where she went, but Michelle and Teresa have been fantastic. Pro HNS LLC, and once again, my wife, because if I don't say her again, she doesn't get enough appreciation.
All right, let's give it up again. 3rd place night, Sheridan Vincent. All right, Mackenzie, kind of a hectic race there. You had to kind of pit off, get a new tire, come back out, but you drove through the field and come home 2nd. How does that feel?
It feels so good on opening night. This is the first race that my father-in-law is not here, and so we were really hoping for a first-place finish for him and just for our family. And today was hectic, to say the least. We got a flat 3 wide in the south. I don't know what we were all thinking, but came out with a flat, got it switched thanks to my crew, and then came out, and we were on a mission to be up here tonight. So.
And who do you want to thank for helping get out here tonight?
I have to thank my husband, Reppin Welding and Rail, BECU for being a big sponsor and supporter, Buzzin' Steakhouse. We actually just got Bickford Ford on this year, so we're super excited to have them with us. We run a Ford, so super happy to have them. My mom, Brandy Hood Promotions, my family, my dad. I'm forgetting some people, but John Bodwell at Delta Cams, he helps make this motor, so just really happy and thankful for my crew to get us out here tonight. And we had some issues on Thursday, and we were able to get out here and get on the podium.
Let's give it up. 2nd place tonight, Mackenzie Dietz Reppin. All right, Quinn, you started at the back of the field, but you end up on top at the end of night 1. How does that feel for you guys in the 5 team?
It's pretty amazing, with Mary, with all of her help, and Tommy, who sets the car up and stuff. It makes the job pretty easy for me. I got some lucky breaks, and the seas kind of parted for me with both of the Vincents, and I was able to kind of drive through the hole and actually come out with the lead after that. And if that hadn't happened, I would think it would have been a different outcome.
Yeah, tough race tonight, kind of choppy. Who do you want to thank for helping you get out here and get on the top step tonight?
I got Keith Taylor and Brandon Lovely and Tommy Gap, who helped me with the car. They do all the work and all the setups, and I just get to be the lucky guy to climb in behind the wheel and come out here and put on a show for all you guys. And thank you for, showing up tonight. What an amazing crowd, and it was cool. It was just cool to look up here and see the grandstands full.
All right, let's give it up. Your race winner tonight, the 5-car, Quentin Borison.
Home Track Heroes Soldiers on a Sunday night here on Seattle 11. Appreciate you letting us into your homes, helping entertain you here on tonight. Chad Fitzpatrick joins me, Caleb Hart, as we have got the BECU mini stocks on the racetrack for their A main event. Great field of cars here tonight. It is Ryan Hausenfluck in the Lake Stevens located Bees Fab and Tuning sponsored 33, and the 59 of Tegan Bjornson out of Arlington sponsored by Newell Corporation.
The 18 of Paisley Bender out of Snohomish sponsored by Allied Motorsports, and the 12 of Gavin Blue out of Marysville sponsored by Absher Build LLC.
Zach Bristol, man of many race cars, the 97 out of Snohomish, sponsored by Gourmet Latte. Next to him, Justin Brave, a former feature winner in the class. The 21J from Monroe, sponsored by Craig Rhodes Race Shop.
The 26 is Jimmy Absher out of Marysville, sponsored by NPM Welding and Fabrication. The 81, Bobby Fisher out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Reese Construction.
Row number 5 is Cole Reardon out of Granite Falls, sponsored by Bob T. Builder. And the 221, Lyndon Smith out of Everett, sponsored by PRCBD.
And we got the rookie of the 88 of Brandon Lindbergh out of Monroe, sponsored by Tire Pros. 61, Randy Ditmars out of Snohomish, sponsored by Debbie and Dan Chernisky.
Row behind them, Ronnie Absher, 72 out of Federal Way, United States Seafood, and Austin Kramer's 14 out of Snohomish, sponsored by Northwest Security and Sound.
And another rookie, the 11 of Keegan Mooney out of Bellevue, sponsored by Custom Auto Repair Specialist. And the 14X Christine Hill out of Richmond, Virginia, sponsored by Twitch.com X Christine.
That is Cassidy Iverson in the 7, the former Cassidy Sunholm out of Buckley, JHR, the sponsor on it. 17 mini stocks for 30 times around, Chad. Very cool.
And again, we're missing 5 or 6 of them. So when everyone shows up, we're going to be flirting with B-main territory here. So it's really nice to see full fields back at Evergreen Speedway. 17 on the docket here for 30 laps around.
I would like to state for the record that I made fun of Zach Bristol last week for not using his NASCAR money on his Hornet graphics package. The 97 looks really good, though.
Yeah,
I realize it looks exactly the same as it has, but the 97 looks really good.
But you know what, though? If anyone says you didn't see them, we're buying them glasses.
That's right. That is easily the most visible car in this field in the top 8 right now.
So Tegan Bjornson grabs the lead. Gavin Blue in second, and third goes the 21J of Justin Bray. Bobby Fisher moving up fast. Lyndon Smith as well. They are not wasting any time as they are 3 wide as they come off of turn number 2.
Lyndon Smith cruising on and through. We know that car is good in multiple divisions. Jimmy Absher, who has no fear. That is the wild man, Mr. Excitement himself, already peeling up on the bottom of the racetrack. So we'll see what Jimmy can do. Is starting to string out. Just a couple laps in. Bjornson, Blue, and Brave, the triple B's up in the front of this one.
So a lot of new cars out here, a lot of new rebuilds and new builds as well. So great to see the mini stock class growing once again here at Evergreen Speedway. As Lyndon Smith looking on to the outside of Bobby Fisher, who was, I think he was the Rookie of the Year runner-up. I don't think he got it, but he was very close and picked up quite a few wins last year.
He was also the opening night feature winner after so many Hornet heartbreaks over the time. It was so good to see him get in victory lane right away. I love the fact that we see a whole lot of different variety in mini stocks in this one. You know, for years, it was mini stocks in general have gone with a fad of the car of the moment. For a while, it was a real Pinto-based division, and then you saw the Volkswagens take vogue, the Scirocco and the Rabbit. The Honda Civic grabbed it for a little while, then the Mustang became the absolute car you had to have. Look at all the different car types in and among these front 5 and even in the top 10 right now. We got a lot of builds going on here.
Out of the different makes and models, I bet there's easily 6 or 7 different kinds. when my dad ran mini stocks in the 80s, out of the 30-car field, I would say 25 of them were Scirocco's.
Yep. Over in Wenatchee, where I was growing up, it was Pinto Centro, other than a couple of Mustangs, but it was almost all Fords until a Volkswagen Rabbit showed up one day, and they went, ooh, four-wheel drive. Yeah, fun. Or front-wheel drive, I should say, not four-wheel drive. Well, we have got to thank a couple of people, and the first one is BECU, Boeing Employees Credit Union. Believes in people over profit. BECU, altogether different. BECU, a proud sponsor of this mini stock class. Good racing up front. Bjornsson holding on to it. Brave, a multiple-time feature winner, has got second. He is digging down low. Bjornsson doing a good job holding them off. As there goes Bobby Fischer sticking a nose to the inside. He's looking for second place.
That was a very impressive run by Fischer coming off in turn number 2. That car lit up like a cannon and went right underneath the 21J of Brave. And now here comes Lyndon Smith as well, looking to follow suit. Wow. As, a little contact through 1 and 2 at the apex, and they'll actually help Brave regain third.
Wow, look how fast Lyndon is, and maneuverable too. That car is using every inch of racetrack it can find to try to make its way around, and of course it is. That's been one of the fastest cars in this mini stock, no matter who has been piloting it for almost a decade now here at Evergreen Speedway.
Yeah, we've seen a few different drivers. I think the last person before Lyndon Smith, I believe that was Lane Sunholm, that drove that car. The name before just slipped my mind, but it has been a multiple main event winner here.
It's got more than its fair share of trophies to its name. Bobby Fischer takes the lead, driving the 81, I should say. And you say, uh-oh, and I think I know why.
There was a little bit of contact and something going on with the 21J of Brave now. I saw contact in the right front. I'm going to guess, and it looks like he's going to be done now. Maybe possibly broke something.
Lyndon Smith to the low side of Bjornsson. Together, contact. Absher in the 26. And with him, I say that was the 33.
I believe so. We'll watch and see. Yeah. Kind of right in the middle of the... We'll watch and see how this worked. Right in the middle of the straightaway.
Ryan Hausenfluck got a shot to the shorts. Brandon Lindbergh out on racetrack. Needs a sponsor for some gloves for him. As here's Absher. Just got into him and ends up kicking sideways for Jimmy. So it's been an interesting race. Lead change just happened. Bobby Fischer up in front. Lyndon Smith coming, though, and this is going to be fun.
Yeah, this caution will rack them and stack them, make them closer. Still a really good field. I believe we have about 15 cars still on the racetrack, so still a relatively full field.
Got to thank Brandy Hood Promotions for the in-car shots here, front and back on Bobby Fischer, and got the back look there. Also, thank you to All-Ply Roofing, our sponsor here for the season here on Home Track Heroes. So Fischer staring right at Smith and behind him in a very cool viewpoint. A lot of 221 coming right up the back bumper as we go green.
As a green flag, as the two Civics brought the field to the green, as now that was a good start for Lyndon Smith. Pulls right behind the 81 of Fischer. Here comes the 97 of Zach Bristol as well. Here comes the 4 car of Cole Raridan as well. Oh, we got all sorts of drama in turn number 3.
Well, we'll try to get this all sorted out. We should mention that this race night is running a hair long, so you might start to see main events trimmed depending on what laps they were counted at. And officials might be a little more judicious with time depending on how it's going and the state of the race. So let's get a peek here. 2 cars involved, Bjornsson's 59, Blue's 12. And let's see what happens. Bjornsson has been losing speed here over the last few laps. You saw on the restart he was in the outside lane, and that car, I mean, you hate to say it, it's almost like it threw an anchor out and has been falling backwards. So wonder if there's been something mechanically going wrong with him. Let's get a look at what happened from Kramer's car.
Yeah, it looked like he was just trying to get out of Dodge there, but it looked very awfully familiar, and I'm sure Gavin Blue probably could attest to that from his bad crash last year on the backstretch of the 3.8. So we'll watch and see here with Brandon Lindbergh. Car just turned right, it looked like. Maybe he got a flat tire, possibly.
Not lost on me is the fact that there was some Absher on Absher violence from the in-car of Jimmy's. Him and Ronnie end up into each other. So, all right, back to her, just a hair short of halfway as we are 13 in, 17 to go. And This time, another driver that we know is all kinds of fast. He's on the outside of the second row. Let's take a look at Cole Reardon and the in-car camera from him as what he'll see in front of him, and it is a row of Bobby Fischer and Lyndon Smith, and he's got Zach Bristol tucked to the inside.
So we'll see if that rear-wheel drive can outdo the front-wheel drive on the inside versus outside here as they go through 3 and 4. I believe this is restart number 4. And we are off and running, a slow green flag as they go hopping into turn number 1.
Door panel to door panel as they get into the corner. Right now, hard to say advantage either of them. It's all going to matter on how they get through the third and fourth turns.
They're pretty even, but a little bit of a bobble coming out of Lyndon Smith as they come off of 4, but he's hanging really tough on the outside as they're 2x2. Honda versus Ford as they come into turn number 3.
I thought that was Ford versus Ferrari.
Or that too.
Somebody makes a mini stock out of Ferrari, I'm going to question their decision making.
Yeah.
As down the front straightaway they go, it is still 2x2. Fischer has got just a hair of an advantage, and he's getting into turn 1 a little bit better. Smith really have to scramble down the back straightaway to keep up on that. Now through the corner, Smith gonna diamond the turn off, take the low side from Fischer, and makes the pass into 1. It looked like he was losing the battle, but Lyndon Smith pulling the big move through the corner and makes it work.
What a great crossover as well. Looks like we got an issue in turn 2. Paisley Bender going backwards in turn number 2. And we're going to watch and see how this all played out here.
Well, from that move that we were watching, ooh.
It almost looked like something else was happening in front of her, and she spun out to miss it. So we'll see here. Yeah, it looked like the 14, and that is Austin Kramer, started to spin out, and he was able to save it. So she was just trying to spin out to avoid.
With cars spinning like that, I wonder if there's something on the racetrack.
That's what I'm wondering. It was in the same spot.
Yeah.
Both of them got loose in the same spot.
I almost thought I saw a stripe, but you know, we've had this caution, and the Evergreen Speedway officials have had a chance to look it over. Pace car drivers always looking at the racetrack, seeing for debris or anything like that. It looks okay for now. So 16 in, 14 to go. Fischer gets the lead back.
Not a complete lap.
Yep, and the caution worked well for him there, but...
So he's going to have to do that excellent crossover again.
Yeah, Smith's going to have to do it twice. Fischer's going to know that that's in his playbook as well as we get back to green flag action.
As they're 3 wide. Oh, and the tire. You're going to lose all the time. As, we got thing going. We got a smoke action going on in the back straightaway. We got fire.
Wow, House and Fluck up in a billow of flames. Smoke coming big time, and Ryan, the 33, well, let's take a peek. And in through the corner, so he got a little bit of that mess with Absher. And then we're watching Absher, but watch the 33 as it tails around if we can keep him in the screen. Okay, we didn't there. Now from the back straightaway, and now you can see that plume of smoke come up along the back straightaway billboards.
Yeah, that's definitely a scary sight when that happens.
And it goes all the way down the back straightaway.
What a mess.
Follow him through, and you can see the fire underneath the front tires. He gets off into the grass, which is a really good way to set the grass on fire. But at the same time, we keep our grass awfully nice.
Yes, yep.
And water. Although we've had no problem with that here in Western Washington over the last little bit of time. All right, so from Kramer's point of view, and boom, there it goes. If you ever wondered what thousands of dollars looks like detonating at the same time, there you go. All right, so we're getting word that we need to make a little hiccup in the program here. There's going to be some back straightaway cleanup necessary, and due to the time constraints we were just telling you about, we're going to roll a new main event to the track, and we're going to finish the mini stock main coming up after we do the Outlaw Figure 8A feature.
That is definitely the nice part about having multiple tracks.
Yes. So while they work on back straightaway cleanup, let's get your Outlaw lineup out there. Richard Shanebrook is the 98. The 3G is Mike Middleton out of Snohomish, sponsored by Gunderson Speed Shop.
The 9 is Dakota Wilkinson out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Tony V's Garage. The 13, Bruce Beeler out of Tacoma, sponsored by Black Thunder Transport.
Row 3, Zach Larson, the 83G, Brundage Bone Concrete Pumping, and Jamie Corbett, the 767 from Arlington, A1 Auto Service Center.
Ryan Clark is in the 51 out of Granite Falls, sponsored by Action Machine. The 74, Chris Curtis out of Tulalip, sponsored by Bulldog Haven Northwest.
JE55, Jess Wilkinson going Outlaw Racing this year out of Marysville, Pilchuck Heating and Air Conditioning. And Seth Funden is in the 40 out of Stanwood, MGM Flooring and Interior.
676 is Ricky the Kid Dietz out of Arlington, sponsored by the Tire Pro Shop of Arlington. 35, Haley Wilkinson out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Cobalt Cycles.
Nice to see some new faces here in the Outlaws this year. The Chain Lake Express Wash Outlaw Figure 8 Division. Familiar face John Carlson not with us here tonight. We will see him at some point in time, we believe, for the major races.
Yes.
But he's got his stuff back in Indiana
Yeah.
and is getting prepped for the 3-hour back there by getting some laps in advance.
Drove all the way back there to just get rained out, unfortunately.
Oops. Go figure. Indiana gets wet, and Washington we're racing.
Yeah. So we go green as Mike Middleton grabs the lead. He's a former champion, not in this, I believe. Well, he may have a 60 minutes of fear win, but I believe he is a former Stinger 8 champion. So he's been racing out here for a long time here at Evergreen Speedway. We just haven't seen him here for about 10 years or so.
I just like the fact that it looks like a dirt lake.
That's what I was going to say.
That's super cool.
That looks like more up your alley.
Yeah, give me some of that. Although it could put some big wings on and go faster. That'd be cool.
There's some really cool different paint jobs. The 9 of Dakota Wilkinson, that looks like Vern Dietz's old car from the 90s. So that's a really cool throwback there. We also got the 13 of Beeler. This is his first Outlaw Figure 8 main. Or I think he's done it before with his Super Stock figure, but first Outlaw Figure 8 main with the Outlaw car.
Bruce put a lot into that program here this year, and it's been nice. He was super, super fast on one of the open practice days, and feels really good in it. So
beautiful car, too.
Yeah, good for Bruce. Like, great to have him here. I hope he has a fantastic season and gets some of the results that he's looking for as a result of his hard work and spend.
So a little bit different for this class. They are on the Pro Late model tire, which is a slick. For years prior, they were on the 970 tire, which is a treaded 8-inch tire. So they're probably going to be going a little bit faster, and it'll make it a little bit easier for them to pass because they can actually use the horsepower and bring it down to the track.
The idea being putting them on the slick might give them a chance to drive around the outside and not have to bump somebody out of the way on the inside to get them through. Like somebody with a superior car setup, etc. now has a chance to drive around somebody as opposed to waiting for them to make a move.
Yeah, because with the tire that they were on years prior, it made everyone so equal.
Yes.
It was making it very hard to pass. And yeah, you had to use the chrome horn, and it was very difficult. It was almost like watching a Daytona race. They move up half a lane and the whole field goes by you.
Now, here's the second part to that is that we're going to be lucky as we've got one pulling off with a little bit bigger car count that's going to give us intersection as we got one around.
Wilkinson, it looks like.
Yeah.
I believe, yep.
Larson with the chrome horn there with the assist. So just Wilkinson feet sitting around the wrong way. Meanwhile, for the lead, Mike Middleton has Dakota Wilkinson closing in rapidly.
So yeah, this is definitely a good race shaping up here, as they're definitely all still in a pack. But yeah, way up front is still the 9 of Dakota Wilkinson, as he is chasing down Mike Middleton, as they're going to put Jessica Wilkinson, unfortunately, down another lap. She's not new to Outlaw Figure 8 racing. It's just been a long time since we've seen her in this division again.
Well, nice to have her back at that point in time. There's Clark in the 51. We're talking about drivers not here. We'll see Nick Holton coming out in about a month or so as they're putting a new build together for them. So that'll be another outlaw to the group at some point in time. It'll be nice to have him. Clark up on the back. Shanebrook doing a really good job holding them off. And we got a new leader in Dakota Wilkinson.
Yeah, that car, and I believe he passed him on the outside as well, so that was really good, as we got Middleton hanging on for dear life for second.
Zach Larson rolling in, looking to make his way up and around. We'll take a time out, and we'll come back more. We're halfway through a mini stock main, and we're just getting into an Outlaw Figure 8 main. We'll finish them off next on Home Track Heroes. double box coming out of the break as you're taking a look at the Chain Lake Express Wash Outlaw Figure 8 A main event here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Our show brought to you by All Ply Roofing. I'm Caleb Hart. He's Chad Fitzpatrick. We got a good one going on for second place right now, Chad. Mike Middleton doing a nice job keeping Zach Larson at bay, at least for now.
Yeah, Mike Middleton definitely has his hands full as he goes way out wide. There's that battle for that second spot. As we'll watch and see if Larson can make the outside groove work, and he did momentarily, but Middleton goes way out wide again. His car seems to be a little bit tight. As you can see, he has a lot of wheel cranked into the middle of the corner, and then he's loose coming off.
You take a look at it, Middleton, even without the extra aerodynamics of those back wings, doing a pretty good job getting through the turns and, again, getting power down to the racetrack. Dakota Wilkinson has not gotten too far for him. A little hesitation getting into the intersection that time, and that allows Larson to try to set him up for a move coming off the South Pole.
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit more traffic again, but that actually worked out to Larson's favor. But we're back up front with the 9 of Wilkinson. He is clean and clear out in front. But what a battle and a half for this second spot, as now Larson with the preferred line as they go through the south turn, and he will gain it momentarily, and yes, he will this time.
Larson kind of proving what you were telling about the tire. If you can get outside now, he made it work the entire way around there. So he's got second. He'll try to chase down Wilkinson. Meanwhile, for third, Ryan Clark now up on Middleton, and ooh, big push at corner entry for Middleton. Space opens. Clark's got third.
Yeah, he definitely threw it in there, and unfortunately did not stick. Oh, that was getting a little close for Middleton as Haley Wilkinson charging the intersection. As we still have 12 laps to go. We originally started, we were hoping for 40, but unfortunately, when you start running out of time, you got to do that every once in a while.
Indeed. So down to 30 for this A main event. Got to thank Chain Lake Express Car Wash for absolutely the best car wash ever. Treat your favorite ride to the brand new Chain Lake Express Wash in Monroe. Express Wash has multiple wash packages designed to meet your budget and needs. Manage your Chain Lake Express Wash account easily on the go. Download the app from the App Store or Google Play today. That's Chris Curtis that you see now. Curtis to the inside, and looks like at this point in time, unfortunately the dirt late model is just not quite cornering the way that it was.
I'm wondering if the next Outlaw Figure 8 race we will see a lot more Lexan on the side of that car.
Sure, as the tire is worn up, as it's gotten warm, it's not as sticky and can definitely use that enhanced side bite through the middle of the turn.
And one thing about this tire is and I think Larson may have something rubbing on the right rear. Maybe it almost looks like the tire's going flat. When he goes through the north end, that right rear is looking like it's going flat. We'll watch and see if we get a good glimpse at this. You see the sparks?
Look at the spark, yep.
And he is struggling big time, and look at it, that he does have a right rear flat, but look at him go. He's still hanging on for second.
Driving the wheels off it, that's for sure. You've got 75 laps of race action on that new tire on the 3/8 in your late model. Did it make a major difference to your program?
Most definitely. I will say the car's a lot easier to drive, as Larson having a hard time now as he is driving on the rim, as even now Richard Shainbrook, I believe, is a lap down, almost passed him back. But yeah, so anyway, with this tire, it's more so they'll probably feel it on the Figure 8 track. The Figure 8 track is way more abrasive than the 3/8 is.
Okay.
And it's a lot of harder compound tire, so in theory the tire should last a little bit longer than usual.
Okay.
Harder compound tires tend to do that versus a soft tire.
Yep.
And you want to do that for the Outlaw Figure 8s because they don't get 4 every week. They get 2, I believe, once a month.
Okay.
So tire convert is definitely going to be huge for them. Tire strategy as well.
Did you notice a difference in the sidewall of the tire and how it changed suspension at all for your team in the late model?
Most definitely. 970 is a lot softer than this ST1 and ST3, so that does change a little bit of the setup, and it really changes the weight amount of tire too. It is very, very difficult to do.
I hated mounting tires. Thankfully, that is what the J2 truck's for.
Yes, exactly.
Dakota Wilkinson has got the lead. Battle for second. Ryan Clark in the 51. Chris Curtis in the 74. Curtis gets a bit of the credit. He spent a lot of time helping Bruce Beeler get his Outlaw together here over the winter, so spent some time on that, got his own car back together. They are reeling Wilkinson in. However, the white flag's in the air. There's only one lap left.
So this will definitely be a long lap for Dakota Wilkinson. What a way to start off the year if he can make it through the intersection like this, and he does. What a great win for Wilkinson. Good job for him. Ryan Clark, and he'll beat his teammate as well. Look at that. What a good start.
Not bad at all. Wilkinson the win, Clark 2, Curtis 3, and a fun Chain Link Express Wash Outlaw Figure 8A main event. Let's go talk to your top 3 on the podium.
Well, Chris, it's a little bit of a weird question, a little bit of a weird day for you guys. You were popping into the middle of a race, running the figure 8. How'd the anticipation eat at you when you're in the car?
Well, you know, we were actually sitting there for a little while, all ready to go, and with all the cautions and stuff, it really didn't make any difference. Really, as soon as they came over the receiver and told us we were going to be going, we were all pretty much ready to go anyway. So.
You're pretty confident behind the wheel of that number 74. Looking to try and go back to back. What more did you think you needed to get to Ryan and to get to Code?
Right now, you know, this new fancy tire we got that's so sticky, it's really awesome. So I like it, but I am fighting it a little bit. I just need to get the car to turn a little bit better, get off the corner a little bit better, and I'll be right there.
And who would you like to thank for tonight?
Oh man, I'll tell you, Bulldog Haven Northwest, Michael Leone Construction, Bud Barton's Glass, Thermotech Powder Coating, MCA Creations, my wife. There's probably many more, I just can't remember.
Driver the number 74, third place tonight, that's Chris Curtis. Well, Ryan, it was an interesting one to say the least, chasing down Code there. I watched you tick so close to him. 3.2, 2.2, 1.2. Do you think just a couple more laps would have been enough?
I definitely think I could have got to him, but might have had to get a little rough with him to get the win. But you know what? An MBQ chassis 1, 2, 3. We'll take it. An all-around good day for the team. We'll take it. Very happy to come home with a podium and a second place.
Hey, you put on a good show driving that number 51. How are you adjusting, getting ready for this season?
Oh, I'm excited for this season. We got we're trying some new things with the roof. These new tires are awesome. Yeah, we're excited for this season. We think we're gonna have a great year. As long as the weather keeps doing how it was today, I think this season's gonna be a very successful season, and just go race by race, have fun, and get wins.
Who would you like to thank for your performance tonight?
I got amazing people on this car. Action Machine, Bulldog Haven Northwest, Thermotech Powder Coating, MBQ Chassis, Holton Racing, JB Sandblasters, Bud Barton Glass, Black Thunder Transportation, wow. MCA Creations, and I definitely got to thank the most important people that help me out every day in the shop. That'd be my Uncle Chris, my dad, my Aunt Sina, my mom, and Jason and Nick Holton. These guys get me to where I am, and I cannot thank them enough, so thank you guys.
Driver the number 51, Ryan Clark, second tonight. All right, Dakota, new year, new scheme. It's throwback weekend for NASCAR over in Darlington. Feels like it's throwback weekend tonight with that number 9 in Victory Lane.
Oh, well, I threw back to Vern Dietz, my grandpa. I don't know how much success he had with it, but I'm feeling pretty good with it right now.
You kept your composure, made the right moves there early on in the race. What's going through your mind as you're leading the race with 25 still to go?
Please don't hit me in the X.
Fair enough, Dakota. Who helped you get here tonight?
Hold on. Here, yeah, hold that up for me. Tony V's Garage, Pilchuck Heating, Pacific Northwest Forerunner Connection, A Westco Septic, Waltz Woodco, Reppin Welding and Rail, PNC Landsmiths, Rift, DTMX Racings, my mom, my dad, and NBQ Chassis.
Driver of the number 9, race winner tonight, that's Dakota Wilkinson.
Well, all right, there you go. The Outlaw Figure 8 main in the books. And now we're going to go and resume our BECU Mini Stock A feature, which had 16 laps down, 14 to go. And the reason that we're resuming this, and we just didn't carry on, is Ryan Housenfluck had brought us to essentially red flag conditions by blowing up in the back straightaway and putting down enough moisture. With the time as it is, we had to stop that one, run the figure eights, go clean up the back stretch, and now these drivers have had some time to chill, basically. Tires are cool. They've had some time to rest, relax, reevaluate themselves. I don't know if they were allowed to touch the cars in the pit area.
Most definitely not.
Yeah,
no.
I would imagine that they were put into impound in some form or fashion. But at the same time, the mental break is something.
Oh, 100. It's actually terrible. I will say the mental break is terrible. You just want the race to get done. I have been in that situation many times in the late model and in the street stock where, and I know this sounds really bad. Luckily, he blew up on the backstretch, so we could use our time wisely and clean the backstretch up while we got the Outlaw Figure 8 main done. I've sat in turn 3 watching the figure 8s race for a half hour before while I was leading.
Oh, brutal.
And it was just dreadful to be a part of that.
All that time to think.
Yes.
Right? And there's nothing, I say there's nothing worse, but strapped in and thinking inside a not super roomy cockpit, right?
Warm.
Yeah, I can see that. Although you've got a lot of the drivers will pop a drink bottle or something in there, right? Maybe not so much on a cold early season night, but definitely in the middle of summer.
And it's a new race at this point. I mean, we just split the race into 2 mains, essentially.
Yep.
The cars are going to be completely different. Yes, it was 75 degrees today. I bet it's barely now 45. So the cars are a lot colder, and we will definitely see who can make this work after, let's just say, mini stock main event part 2.
There you go. All right, so your race leader is the 81 of Bobby Fischer. Outside him is the 221 of Lyndon Smith. That's been a good battle. The second row is Cole Reardon in the 4, and the 97 of Zach Bristol. As we're coming back to green, it is BECU Mini Stock Feature Part 2.
As that was a good start for, that was the 81 of Fisher as they come off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. As they're side by side, door handle. Here comes the 4 car of Cole Reardon as well. Oh, they were thinking about 3 wide as we got 13 down, and we are 3 wide for the lead.
Look at that. It might have been Reardon who hiccuped Fisher just enough on the inside there that he didn't quite get the run in the corner. However, he noses ahead on the back straightaway. And off the turn, Smith might have to be thinking about that outside-in move that he used last time off of 4 that picked him up the lead right before we ended up under yellow. Now Smith is going to get into the rear quarter panel of Bobby Fischer. Oh, problems in River City for your top 2. Let's take a look at the replay as the caution's coming out.
So he looked like he was doing the crossover right there, and unfortunately I'm just going to say, drove right into the back of him. I don't think he was anticipating that Fisher was going to be that low. As, made a little bit of contact there, and unfortunately, I think he kept it off the wall.
Well, this is going to give us our best look. Now, just watch the attitude of the 81. It's really hard to figure intent. You know what I mean?
I don't think he did on purpose. He's not that. Oh, he didn't get into the wall. I don't think he did on purpose. I think he just had a little more horsepower than he anticipated coming off of turn 2.
Okay, so mistakes happen, right?
Of course.
Error is human. How you deal with a mistake is what really matters. In this instance, the mistake is a huge benefit for Cole Reardon, who is now up in the lead, and it looks like Smith was penalized.
Yep, so it looked like both of them go to the back if the 81 of Fisher is still out there. He did hit that wall actually pretty hard, so we'll see if he is out there. It looks like he is. So everyone moved up 1 row as, we'll have the 4 of Reardon and the 26 of Absher.
I want to say Absher might be down a lap. Looking at where he was running, no, he's sitting third.
Look at him, he's been all over the place.
Well, he could have been lapped at one point in time, but that's Jimmy Absher for you. He is a wild man, but a good race car driver at the same time. Green is out. Reardon, Absher, and Bristol your reigning Hornet champion, showing off in the mini stock tonight, run third.
Yeah, that's a great run, and great run for the 88 of Brandon Lindbergh, a former Stinger 8 champion. I believe this is his first ever mini stock race, and he's sitting in that 4th position. Look at Paisley Bender as well.
That a girl?
What a great run. Oh, we got some more drama in turn 3. Turn 3 has been rough tonight.
It has been, and things get from bad to worse for Bobby Fischer, who's out there with Ditmars in the 61. Team Volkswagen.
Yeah.
Love it. And the 14 of Kramer. Off into the grass once again. Gets dark out there.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, you don't want to be out there, and unfortunately took some friends with him. So.
Up and into the corner goes Kramer. As a look from Lyndon Smith, who was coming in the turn. And wow. Well, we talked about the maneuverability of that car, his ability to turn down, kept him out of the muck in that one. We'll come back and we will try to finish the mini stock main after this on Home Track Heroes. Well, just in case you were tuned in a little bit early for Steve Harvey and Family Feud, you've come to Home Track Heroes, where we have got BECU mini stock action to try to finish this main event off with 7 laps to go. And stay tuned. Bus racing coming up to follow it. I'm Caleb Hart. He's Chad Fitzpatrick. We got to say a gigantic shout out to All Ply Roofing, our sponsor here all season long on Home Track Heroes. We have shenanigans.
We have been told to go single file.
Okay. Well, single file it shall be.
Yeah.
If they can.
Maybe. Maybe.
Zach.
Move back.
Zach, buddy. Buddy. You should be tucking in line now. Okay, well, you know.
Alrighty. So we will go green, maybe? We're green. You figured it out. All right, we're good.
Ah, perfect.
Green
okay.
flag.
Well, you know, listening for comprehension is hard sometimes. Into turn number 1, it ends up with Bristol exactly where he is supposed to be. So no harm, no foul. We're good. As up front, Raritan and Absher. Boy, this could be a lot of fun. 2 guys who have got a lot of personality between us.
Most definitely.
I love talking with both of these guys and hanging out with them because they are super good dudes and super intense about the racing at the same time.
Oh yes, yes. When you get 2 worlds to collide like that, it definitely puts on a good show.
It does. Now for Raritan, who has been nothing but fast since they built the mini stock for him again, he came back out to join us. Last third of last year. It's kind of been a dream run for him. He has been lightning quick, and now he is pulling away by a lot here with just 4 to go.
Yeah, he is definitely clean and clear, and there's something looked like we're missing another car. Absher's gone. Absher's gone, so now the 97 of Zach Bristol has moved up into the 3rd, and so has moved up into 2nd, 221 Lyndon Smith. Moving up, I believe so, last place at this point. We've lost quite a few cars. I think he went back to about 10th. But still, that's very impressive to pass 8 cars within about 3 laps.
Well, we'll get to see the defensive driving skills of the 97 of Bristol, although vastly different defending your line 1 on a circle track and 2 in a mini stock as opposed to what he's usually doing in a Hornet.
Yeah, he's going the old, I hate to say it, but the old boring left from what he's doing.
Hey, tried and true, go left, right?
Yeah.
Well, hey, we talked about it on last week's show about how you were defending your line, and it's something that you've literally said out loud. I'm not giving you the bottom. Take the top. If you can drive around me, it's yours. But you're going to have to root me out from underneath, as we got a problem here for Cole Raritan. Lyndon Smith, 2 for 1 on the last lap. Raritan gets hung up on Ditmars, and from out of nowhere, Lyndon Smith pulls the rabbit out of his hat and drives to the win over Bristol and Raritan. That happened suddenly. Well, let's go talk to him about it. I don't know if Raritan's going to be in the mood to talk. We'll find out on the podium.
Cole, kind of a crazy race for you guys. Had a midway break there, we'll call it. But 3rd place for the 4 car. How does it feel to be back out and getting to run the mini stock again?
Oh, it feels great. That was a crazy race. Made a couple mistakes. Lap traffic got me. It's all right. I'll be back next time.
Yeah, that 4 car was definitely fast. Who do you want to thank for helping to get out of here?
Oh, man, there's a ton of people. Bob T. Builder, my main sponsor. Full Throttle Graphics. Jamie Corbett for the amazing paint job. Royce Tanner Racing. And NPM Welding. Jimmy Absher, Royce. Bobby Fischer. my girlfriend Jenny, my dad. I thank BCU for sponsoring our class. Thanks Evergreen for having a sandbox for us to play in. Thanks for all the fans. I think that's it. Oh, you know what? Brandon Welch, Beads Fab and Tuning. He comes out and plays on the laptop and keeps the car running super crispy. So, Brian Spiker, TransLab, changed the diff this week. So, there's so many people to thank. It's hard to get them all.
Well, let's give it up. Cole Raridan, third place tonight, mini stock. All right, Zach, we saw you opening night 1 in the Hornet, now in the mini stock, running a lot of things out here, but how much fun was it back out to be out?
Oh, it was a blast to run a mini stock. Power to weight ratio is nuts, especially in that Volkswagen. It's completely different than my Prelude. No, it's an absolute blast, especially a lot of the guys that run mini stocks are old Hornet guys I ran 4 or 5 years ago, and to get back out there with them, it's just a good old time.
Yeah, had a battle, kind of a choppy race. How did you navigate that and get up to second?
I just really kept your nose clean and dodged all the carnage, whatnot. And especially there on the last lap, whatnot. It's like, okay, wasn't sure what was going on. That last lap, well, we'll just chuck it in turn 3. Hopefully we make it work, and it stuck and got around Cole at least. So, but podium with a Scirocco with all those Hondas, all those Mustangs. That's a win for us. We're definitely a little underpowered, but we're making it work.
And who do you want to thank for helping to get out here to second place?
Well, first off, Nat Barber, Amy Barber, FTG boys. We are campaigning this car out of the Tri-Cities area right now. Just awesome for the opportunity to run that car. His deal, Racers Against Child Abuse, go check it out online. And definitely Tommy and Candy Hibbs, my beautiful girlfriend Sarah, for all their support. And we're always looking for more sponsors for that beautiful VW. So if anybody wants to jump on board and help out, we'd love to have you.
All right, let's give it up. Second place tonight for the 97, Zach Bristol. All right, Lyndon, what a race, but at the end of it, you come out on top. At somewhere in there, you got sent to the back and had to drive your way through the field. To talk about having to make your way back up from the back.
Honestly, the stars just aligned. I drove the top. That's where I stuck all race. I was having some problems with the front end, so I just started dirt tracking it, and it worked. The second lane was my friend today, and I think I'll start using that a little bit more from now on.
Yeah, that 221 was fast all day, and once you made your way through the field, again, having to navigate kind of a choppy rate. Talk us through that.
Honestly, it was just follow the gaps. It was follow the fast cars at the beginning, then follow the gaps. You see the holes open, you dive for them, you hope they don't close. That was really kind of just all it was tonight.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out here tonight to the win?
I got to give a huge thanks to Dave Riddell. He's my crew chief. Without him, I wouldn't be out here. John Bender, he's been a huge help over these past 3 years in this car. Brandon Lindbergh, he let me use his radio harness today. We were having problems with my radio in qualifying. PRCBD, they've been sponsoring me. Brandon Built Kitchen and Bath, Bosworth Trucking and Grading, and Central Welding.
All right, let's give it up one more time. Your race winner, Lyndon Smith.
Well, got to thank our on-track announcers and the voices of Evergreen Speedway, Derek Todoroff, and a very fired-up Ben Hyman there with Lyndon Smith, who sneaks a win out of nowhere. It is time for the World Championships of Bus Racing round number 1. And I say the World Championships of Bus Racing. Chad, we've taken this in a humorous light in years past because it's bus racing and we're putting it on figure 8. And, it was a good time, and we always talked about the fact that Jonathan Peterson cheated, which he still did. That doesn't change that fact, right? But now we have transponders on these buses, and there are race teams that are all involved. They've made team shirts and stuff on this. So we've got to take a slightly more serious air about our bus racing.
Most definitely. It's still fun. This is still a fun thing to do, but there's a little bit more actual racing involved.
It is the World Championships of Bus Racing round number 1 at Evergreen Speedway.
Yes.
Here we go. Chad Capps is in the military green number 10 bus. Jeff Ritter flying the red, white, and blue. He is in the 18 bus. Skylar Cruz, you saw doing figure 8s earlier. That's a blue bus, and it's number 20, and I believe that's on your pole. Jalen Vick has got the flamed on bus. That's when he was outside row number 2 and already laying the chrome horn to him. That's the 25 bus. Sheridan Vincent has like a green pencil something on his. He's the 43. Jake Reppin, that's the black and green struggle bus. It's the 45. That makes sense given, you know.
Yeah.
That's good. Buddy Hunt is in the 911. It's yellow with words all over it. I think we saw that. Is it on the inside tucked in right now? That's got to be Buddy
that's our
Hunt.
leader. So
ooh, free candy.
Yeah.
And Nick Holton is in a yellow and black X bus.
And I believe he's sitting in 3rd.
Now, we understand that might be a substitute bus for Holton and the group that is in and with that. It might not. We'll find out.
We'll find. Once the next bus race, there'll be actually more buses too, so that'll be very interesting. So we are side by side for second as we're already got traffic at the X.
Oh boy. I was just trying to read the words on the word bus, the yellow with words. So Buddy Hunt's bus, other than free candy, which sounds delicious, I gotta find out everything written on that.
So that's what I've seen too. Is we got Vince. Oh, that was close. That is Holton, I believe, in that second spot.
Oh
as
yeah.
We got.
Oh yeah. All right. The
And
wheels on the
backs
bus go round and round, coming through the North Pole.
That was a good one there.
We're gonna have a new leader then.
You know, when you see a car hit one of those tires, it destroys it. It looked like it was just bowling pins when those buses hit those tires.
You know, and this is, by the way, racing to a time limit. So there's not a set lap distance. It's when the clock strikes the limit that will throw the white flag and then the checkered. So that's how that's going to go.
When the clock strikes 10.
Yes, and this would all be, it wouldn't be possible without all-ply roofing. Is your roof keeping up with all the weather Washington dishes out? Call All-Ply Roofing for a free estimate at allplyroofing.com. Your residential and commercial roofing team, All-Ply Roofing. I'm saying it now. You and I need the Home Track Heroes bus.
We do.
Here's what we'll do. I am retired. I will not drive the bus, but I will manage the bus roster, and then whoever is not having to work TV that week can be the bus driver.
Okay.
Right? Now,
Yes.
granted, you know, you love late model racing. We can't put you in on those nights, but if you want to be the bus driver on non-working evenings, I think that'll work for us.
I think that'll be fun.
Okay, so we're actively soliciting sponsors for a bus for Chad and I in Home Track Heroes. If you have got a bus and you would like to see it race the figure 8, contact Evergreen Speedway, ask for Derek in the office, and we will get this hooked up.
This will be fun. It'll be. Oh, we got a spin. That is Ritter going around, and that is also. Who dumped him? Oh, we got to hit the intersection. What a hit.
Big time. Buddy Hunt may not have words left on his bus after this one. Holy cow. So I think Jalen Vick's got your lead now. Vick Brothers Racing 25 bus. Yes, indeed. You can see that. And the struggle bus, Jake Reppin hauling it around. I promise if you sponsor us a bus, we will not intentionally destroy it.
No.
Yeah. We can't, you know, set up for any of these other guys, but we won't destroy your bus on purpose.
I can't say anything about the other drivers.
Well, you know, if we put Diamond or Todoroff in the bus, that's anything can happen. Anything will happen.
So we got a good battle between the struggle bus and Chad Caps. As this is going to be close.
Look out, Jalen Vick. Jalen, put your gloves on when you run the bus.
Even in a bus, you need to wear all your safety equipment.
That's right. Brandy Hood Promotions with a GoPro from the bus. I'm surprised how fast they're going.
They are. I bet they're going at least 30 to miles an hour, maybe faster.
Those corners come fast. Holy cow. So we've got one stopped up at the top of the racetrack. All right, it's the pink back of the bus. Which one is that? Oh, that's the pencil.
Oh, now I get it.
Oh.
I get it now. Okay.
I don't. Do better.
White flag. So it's 9:59 p.m. right now. So white flag is out.
One to go. As they roll through the corner, it looks like the VBR bus has got this. As the pencil bus, that's Sheridan Vincent, is on the tail end of the lead lap. Jalen Vick, he knows victory lane here at Evergreen Speedway, and he's going to the outside. Yeah! From the outside around the final corner, he will win round number 1 of the World Bus Racing Championship here at Evergreen Speedway.
That was good. We had some good hits, some good spin outs. Can't ask for much more.
Ah, good stuff. as there's Rep in second, and Jeff Ritter, who probably has more bus racing laps than anybody in this field today, ends up with a real solid third. So, well done. We're going to do this more times as the year comes on, and again, you know, not that I'm actively soliciting sponsors, but hey, give us a bus.
Let's do it.
Please. It'll be fun. We'll even put your sponsor name down. It'd be great. Well, Chad, what a fun episode of Home Track Heroes this was.
Most definitely.
Capped off by some bus racing. Action in every one of these divisions. Coming up next week on the show, you're back in action in the race car going for that first late model win of the year.
Yeah, hopefully we can move one more spot up ahead.
That'll be it. Lead all the laps instead of just most of them. So you'll see Pro Late models, Street Stocks, Stinger 8s, Hornets, and Youth Hornets are all on the card. That'll be next Sunday night here, 5 o'clock, Seattle 11. Should be a great time. Next time you can be at Evergreen Speedway in person is going to be Saturday, April 19th. And what's going on then? It is our first Drift Con of the year, and the big bounty tournament should be a blast. Make your plans to be with us here at Evergreen Speedway on the 19th. For Chad Fitzpatrick, Derek Hobbs putting the show together, all the great camera guys, DT on TV, Ben Iman and Victory Lane. My name is Caleb Hart. We'll see you next Sunday night, 5 o'clock here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Join us next week for more great racing from Evergreen Speedway.